How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I cannot complain. Are you ready to play a game that's going to dive into the depths of your mind?
Sure.
I'm going to play the role of the Akinator, the character guessing genie. You're going to play the role of Tyson as well as the audience. So, audience, I want you to play at home, and Tyson is going to answer for you. So, everyone,
Okay.
all at once, I want you to think of a character. Are you thinking of someone? Can be anyone, from a book, a movie, a game, anyone.
Okay, I got one.
Got one? All right. People at home, you're playing too. Do you have one? We're going to begin. It's loading. Is your character an adult man?
Yes. Oh, God damn it.
Is your character linked with sports?
No.
Now, Tyson, remember, you're answering for everyone at home. So, people at home, if Tyson's not answering correctly for you, please send him hate mail. Is your character a famous YouTuber?
No.
Is your character real?
No.
Does your character fight?
Yes.
Does your character wear a mask?
No.
Has your character ever been in a movie?
Yes.
We're thinking over here. Does your character have powers?
No.
Does your character use guns?
Yes.
Is your character evil?
No.
Has your character been into space?
No.
Does the name of your character appear in the title of a movie?
No. I might be wrong with that one.
Is your character in a sequel?
Yes.
Does your character own a car?
No.
Is your character a sailor or a pirate?
No.
Is your character from a book?
No.
Does your character often wear a hat?
No.
Oh my god, what the fuck are you doing, Akinator? You're asking stupid fucking questions right now. Is your character a policeman or a detective?
No.
Does your character live in the future?
No.
Has your character killed humans?
Yes.
Does your character smoke?
Yes.
Is your character a part of a duo?
No.
Is your character from a TV series?
No.
Is your character the main character in his movie?
Yes.
Man, this guy is just like not feeling it, eh? Like just all over the place. Does your character have an eye patch?
Yes, he does.
Can you control your character?
No.
Oh, he does a guess. Here it is. Oh, did he get it? Snake Plissken from Escape from New York.
Wow, well done.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's kind of neat, right?
Yeah, actually really well done. I was like, does he own a car? I don't know. I haven't seen those movies in a long time. And I was kind of thinking, want to choose something in theme of Podtendo, so.
That's a foreshadowy for what the next couple games that are coming out. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So there's my fun Akinator, the game genie. Do you want to play again? That was about like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could.
I don't know. Is this entertaining? Is this entertaining podcast material?
I don't know. People screwing around with an app? I think so, at least.
Okay, well, let's try another one. I mean, if people aren't going to listen to it, then people don't fucking care. All right.
They can skip forward 5 minutes.
There you go. Yeah, skip forward 5 minutes. So listen to the music if you're not feeling this. So we're going to play a second round and then get into today's topic. This is really like deep stuff, guys. Deep stuff. So sorry if you guys weren't thinking Snake Plissken at home. The Akinator apparently only knows Tyson's guess, not yours. So you don't matter as much. Got a character?
Should I go with more Podtendo themed?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I got one.
Does your character really exist?
No.
Is your character a male?
No.
Is your character's father alive?
No.
Does your character wear clothes?
Yes.
Is your character related with Disney?
No.
Is your character from a TV series?
No.
Has your character ever been in a movie?
No.
Is your character from a video game?
Yes.
Is your character from Undertale?
No.
It's a big conclusion to jump to, Genie. Does your character use
right
guns?
off the bat? Yes.
Does your character fight zombies?
No.
Is your character involved with a Blizzard game?
No.
Do you control your character?
Yes.
Does your character have dark hair?
No.
Is your character blonde?
Yes.
Is your character in any Smash Brothers games?
Yes.
No, he's thinking. Is your character divorced?
No.
It's a weird question. Oh, that's
right?
it. That was the thing. He's like, oh, I got it now. Your character is Samus Aran.
Yes. Man, who has been divorced? Is that Princess Peach? Is that what they're going with?
I don't know. You know what? This app, I was playing it the other day. I was like, well, that's kind of fun. And then it's like, buy the app and have all the characters unlocked. And I was like, it's worth $2. And I was playing it. Yeah. And there was one day we were going, and my wife was going through, well, Tamara, you guys know Tamara, through characters from Harry Potter. It's like, oh, he's from Harry Potter, and it's a girl character, and it's like, does your character have large breasts? And I was like, probably not. Like, I don't think any of them are ever like, and her tits was so big the magic just absorbed them, you know, like that wasn't really one of those talking points in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Except for that one
don't really
weird chapter about Ron's balls. That was the only time anything like that was discussed, so.
What about Ron's balls?
There was just a whole chapter, and there's like, Ron went to the bathroom and he thought, man, I've got red balls. Yeah, that's.
I really missed that chapter.
Yeah, well, it was really short. It was kind of, Voldemort just, attacked the Gryffindors, and everyone's like, oh god, what are we gonna do? And Ron's like, I'm gonna go think for a second. And it was just like a short, like, one page. You probably missed it. And then it was like, and then Harry Potter put on his Gryffindor sword and chanted, we are going to fight you all. I don't. Harry Potter.
Yeah. That frickin' show, man.
Yeah.
Or book series, I should say.
Funny. So, yeah, there was my new thing I was going to try. I don't know. It wasn't really a great discussing point. It's just listing literally two people play a app. So
it's interesting because people at home could be like, who the hell is he guessing?
I had no idea. Like, I was reading the question, no idea. The fact it was both like, oh, I know exactly who this is. I'm like,
yeah,
like as soon as you're like blonde video game Smash Brothers, I was like, Link. Yep, definitely Link. And I was like, Sam. Oh yeah, he's a girl.
No, but I asked if it was a girl.
Oh, I know.
So that's why I was like, who the heck's the blonde girl? Who's been divorced? I'm assuming Peach has been divorced.
Sometimes they just ask weird questions. Like, I don't know what's like the breast size one with fictional characters. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
no one knows. But with that, shake it out. We got this. We're going to get into today's tropical fun game.
It's a jungle in there. Donkey Kong Country, rated E for everyone.
Welcome to the Podtendo podcast. I was turned away from Mike there. Never done that before. Apologize. Where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. We've been contacted on Twitter at Podtendo Podcast. Email us at podtendo@gmail.com, or check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Podtendo. I am your Chancellor Mick, and I'll be joined every episode by a Chancellor
Tyson,
co-Chancellor, the other Chancellor.
Yeah, I think some sort of Chancellor.
I might be known as the Rubik's Cube Master from now on.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know the last time I touched a Rubik's Cube, but I bet you I'd be good at it.
Yeah, and I mean, they're cheap, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
All right, sold. I will buy one on Amazon right now. Today's game we're talking about is Donkey Kong Country. Oh yeah. The release date was November 21st, 1994. And the Game Boy Advance was released on June 9th, 2003. How Long to Beat has this game at 4 hours. That's pretty accurate, actually. Actual retail price was $59.99. If we factor in inflation, that's $96.22 today. Whew, pretty pricey. Current eBay price, $39 for a loose cart and $350 for the complete DKC trilogy in box. It's not bad. Yeah, it's pricey. I mean, A Link to the Past was $4 something, and this
for one game.
This is $350 for all three of them. And if you really like the Donkey Kong Country games, I could see that. Although I feel like there's definitely a really strong entry and then two mediocre ones.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that more and more, and I already have the good one, so
yeah. eShop price, Wii and Wii U, it's for $8, and it'd be $12 on the new 3DS, the digital copy for that. Perfect, good. Moving on to the development details of this game. This is a little bit rambly, so try and battle through this one, and then we can talk. I guess this is like the kind of the part of the show where I'm supposed to talk and like kind of tell you guys stuff, and then me and Tyson will chat. But Tyson, you want to talk about anything, any point? Just let me know.
Okay.
The success of this game helped keep the Super Nintendo. The success of the game helped keep the Super Nintendo. This title sold 6 million copies within its first holiday season. Helped keep the Super Nintendo relevant compared to the others, so the Sega Disk Drive and the Saturn that were coming out at this time. So it kind of helped keep the Super Nintendo at the top of the charts, kind of being like the premier video game system. This game has sold 9 million copies and became the second highest selling game on that system. This game extended Donkey Kong's popularity and helped Donkey Kong get into Super Smash Bros., various Mario Kart games, as well as 2 sequels, and as well probably helped the creation of the spin-off game Diddy Kong's Racing. Rare's Tim and Chris Stampler were experimenting with a Silicon Graphics challenge workstation. They were trying to create a boxing game. Nintendo was impressed with their work and asked them to make a game for the Super Nintendo. They asked for permission to use Donkey Kong, and Nintendo allowed it. Hence, one of the best game developers had its start. Rare. A team of 12 people were tasked on making this game. It took 18 months to develop this game. Nintendo asked them to make the game simpler and remove some elements, such as Donkey Kong's hand slap. Nintendo had to ask them to make this game simpler. Curious. Can you imagine if they let the original difficulty in on this title?
Yeah, that would be just a flippin' nightmare.
Oh, man.
Man, it'd be like Dark Souls, but on the Super Nintendo.
Ugh, gross. The developers spent hours at the Twycross Zoo watching gorillas to help create Donkey Kong's movement. This is the world before YouTube.
Yeah, developers actually used to have to pay their artists to go out and go actually see things for real life so they could capture it themselves.
Yeah.
So, it's the world we used to live in.
Diddy Kong was supposed to be an updated version of Donkey Kong Jr., but he was too much of a departure from the original design, so they repackaged him as Diddy Kong, originally called Dinky Kong. This was one of the first titles to use the pre-rendered 3D graphics in it. And that's all I got. There you go.
Yeah, I guess this always kind of looked very similar to Super Mario RPG to me, but this just was like taken to the next level. So
yeah, well, and it was what Rare also had Killer Instinct. It looked a lot kind of like Killer Instinct, where it was kind of this pseudo 3D, super polished kind of looking game, and yeah, like it definitely is highlighted in this title. Like the graphics are exceptional. It's kind of neat that they kind of moved away from the platformy. So the Super Mario World, you saw that when that came out 3 years prior. They had a score, and there's all these numbers, and every level was timed, because in the arcade, that was a big thing. And they've actually now departed so far away from the arcade at this point that the screen it's not messed up. You literally have no indicator outside of your character as to how you're doing in a level.
And this game, I think, actually still really looks quite good. Like, the art style that they chose, it's a cartoony style where, you know, some CGI cartoons are just like, bleh. For a prime example, look at Donkey Kong Country, the animated TV series.
Mm-hmm.
That looks terrible. And now you look at this and you're like, wow, it still holds up. And, like, the rain and the shadows and the thunder and the lightning, it all just looks fantastic. It's so good.
Oh, yes. Moving on to the controls of this game. This game is a standard platform game. We move left and right with the D-pad, and you can jump. Oh, we can also do a roll. And now while rolling, you can do this weird trick where you can actually roll off the ledges of certain platforms and then jump. And this can be important for getting to secret areas, collecting secrets.
Timestamp that.
Listen. The vacuum comes on, I'll cut it out. Not that the vacuum was going while I was recording or anything, people. Also, you can grab barrels.
Yes.
And you can use those to get secret exits and kill enemies.
And you did actually have the ability to switch between Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong at any time.
Donkey Kong is heavier and stronger. Diddy's faster?
Yes, and Donkey Kong holds the barrels above him where Diddy Kong holds them in front of him.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
It's a little point, but when you're fighting certain enemies where they're coming directly on you, why would you want to hold the barrel on top of you and take that hit when you could just hold it in front of you?
Yeah.
The other thing is, I guess when you're trying to make really tight jumps, you might want to use a smaller character, whereas if you're trying to do, like, you're going to land on somebody, it's nice to have a big hitbox with the bigger character of Donkey Kong. So it's an interesting little kind of side note, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind while you're playing this. Is if you're struggling with a certain character, maybe trying it with the other one might be the key to success.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. First memories of this game. I don't remember playing this game until 95, 96, after I played the sequel. I think our cousin had it, so I remember having Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. But, like, I heard about this from rumors. Like, obviously, we just didn't have this game. Really had no interest in playing this game. I do recall playing through the first 2, maybe 3 worlds in a weekend when we'd go to visit our cousin. And also, one of our dentists or doctors had this in their waiting room as a kid. So I remember playing through this a bunch there.
Mm-hmm.
I might have I think I had a friend that had it because he always really liked the monkey with the hat, because sometimes he would turn it backwards and put shades on, and he was cool. Because
he was pretty cool. People that wore their hat backwards, they were the coolest kids.
Like that's the most 90s shit I've ever said. Like, I have a backwards hat and glasses, and then all I need is like a brightly colored windbreaker. And you're like, yeah, I'm definitely the cool kid of this classroom right now. So,
and Donkey Kong Country 2 is really has a lot of that quote unquote cool factor to it, like with rock and guitars and rock and kind of hip hop tracks. Yeah, just oh my goodness. Anyways, back to this game.
I like asking the question, what was going on in 94? Let's put ourselves back in that mindset. And then older people that are listening to this, younger people, you're going to be like, what the fuck are these movies? But I'm going to go back and I'm going to start kind of looking at that nostalgia avenue. So in 94, in November, the movies that were the top of the box office were Interview with a Vampire, Double Dragon, The Pagemaster, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's greatest film ever, Junior. Yep.
See, I remember all these, and that makes me about 5 years old or so. But goodness, no. Also, Lion King came out this year in 94.
But this was November of 94, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, like, I was a young kid. I probably did do a whole lot of thinking on my own, so just kind of watched whatever I got told to watch and play whatever kind of got put in front of me. So I remember watching Arnold Schwarzenegger's Junior. So
yeah, it's probably after the fact. I feel like it was like a VHS thing, so it might have been a couple months in the future. TV shows, Friends and Party of Five both started this fall, so If you're a fan of Friends, they started right around the time this game was just coming out. Music. The number 3 song on the Billboard chart for November 1994 was She's Got That Vibe by R. Kelly. Two was Always by Bon. Baby Come Back by Pato Banton. Baby come back.
Wow.
You can lay it all on me. I think that's the
I
song.
just remember the Simpson song where Homer loses Maggie, and then the holding song is "Baby Come Back."
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Simpsons
So.
did it. We should do a Simpsons podcast. Screw Nintendo.
We
Bye, Nintendo.
Yeah. Or we can always just do a side project.
Yeah. I have all my Simpsons DVDs in a box in the shed, though, so it's, yeah.
You'd have to actually bust them out and watch them.
Mm-hmm. And finally, in 1994, what games were released? Earthworm Jim, Earthbound, Final Fantasy VI, Doom 2, Super Metroid, Sonic 3, and Knuckles were all released that year.
Wow. So, at this time, Sonic 2 was already out. We were already playing Sonic 2.
Maybe not, because I feel like we played Sonic 2 after the fact. Like, one day we were like, hey, Mom, can we buy this Genesis? It's $50. And we got Sega, or we got Sonic 2 with the Sega, and it was like $50 was like affordable. Like, that was one of those things.
Makes
Mom's
sense.
like, yeah, okay. Yeah, if you get a full system with like a full game, that seems like a good value.
Yeah, I think we ended up and we're like, oh yeah, and it's 2-player. That was the big thing, was 2-player.
Yeah.
And we got that secondary controller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's kind of going on. Again, 94, probably one of the best years for video games.
Mm-hmm.
The crappy thing is, as a kid, getting your mom to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 60, like $420 on video games for a year probably wasn't going to happen. So you were not going to be able to collect all these games, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Too bad. Moving along into this title, let's look at the story and then go through over some of the level notes.
For sure.
This one will be a fast one today. So, Donkey Kong. After investigating his Kong's banana hoard, located just below his home, and discovering that his banana hoard has disappeared, embarks on a journey to recover it from King K Rool and the Kremlings. Take that, stupid RPGs with your complicated story. That was 30 seconds, gentlemen.
Weird. You know what? This story's kind of weird because it does a lot with nothing, you know?
Yeah, it really does, especially because the game just kind of starts, and there's no real opening cutscene or in length. There's not something to set it up, or Zelda. There's not really.
But they have. So
something to set it up.
you start the game, you bust out of Donkey Kong's house, you go into look at his banana hoard. It's empty, and he's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And now you got to go get him back.
Yeah. So somebody stole his bananas. That's it. That's the game.
Yep.
Yeah. So with the level notes, we start off in the Congo jungle. It's very easy. It introduces all kind of the game moments for the most part. We see kind of the cave levels. We see the underwater worlds. We see the worlds with the vines, the treetop levels.
Yep.
And then the boss of the first level is very naughty. He's a beaver. You jump on his head. He sucks.
3 hits and I think he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Then from there we head onto the monkey mines. This area kept introducing some of the new game mechanics. It was also very simple. With this way we see the ruins for the first time, so the Aztec ruins, the mines, and one of the factory levels, I think, is what we is kind of is it, right?
Yeah, mines, factory, cave, and there's that one Aztec ruins, which I hate the most, but that's my own personal prerogative.
Yeah, at this point we fight boss Master Neki. He is a giant vulture, and basically you just jump on his head and kill him when he puts his head out.
Yeah, pretty easy, and then we basically move on to Vine Valley.
Sure do.
Yeah.
What?
And this one's got like forest levels, more treetops, more Aztec ruins, which are my personal favorite. Not. And then we actually get our first aqua level, or underwater level.
I thought we were
of
underwater
Clam
on
City.
the first one.
You're right, we do. Right, my bad.
So, yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're all introduced at this point outside of, like, the ice-themed levels. But, like, I struggled with this one. Or was it this one? Vine Valley. There was one of them that I freaking... maybe it was the next area that I hated. Yeah, the Aztec levels, there's this weird ease in this game where it's not difficult. There's lots of collectibles. The secrets are very abundant. And then all of a sudden the game just explodes. Like, the difficulty curve in this game just, like, it ratchets up, and it's really unfair.
Yeah, and instead of kind of sticking to a similar style, they really like to mess with your timing and your precision of your jumps, which is kind of hard, especially since a lot of time, unless you know what the level looks like, you end up kind of trying to make those guess jumps. Like, I don't really know where I'm going, but I'm going forward, I think. And a lot of those things are like, you'll make a jump, or you didn't hold forward enough, or you kind of mistimed it and there was somebody there. It feels kind of like really trial and error and punishes you by it. So
I find
this is where my quarrels with the game really kind of stem from. Because there's times where you have to jump over certain Aztec things, like big wheels of doom, and then there's times where you got to run underneath them real quick. So
see, the thing I find is that they try and do too much. They try and throw too many game mechanics at the same time. So, for example, there's a big Aztec wheel chasing you, but you also need to push a tire onto a little platform, stay on the tire on the platform, be able to push it off to the other side so that you can jump over and get a secret. And it just seems like while you're being chased by this giant wheel and you have to go at like a good pace, or it kills you. Like, it just seems like it's way too much, you know?
Yeah, like this is really where the game kind of takes like a downward spike in at least fun level, because like the first Congo Jungle, it's pretty easy and it's fun. It's got nice like good music and it's not throwing too much at you. And then the Monkey Mines, again, you know, you're just enjoying the music. Kind of gets a little bit crazy with the cart levels, and you got to jump. You're kind of on a rail, and you got to kind of make sure you make your precision jumps. And then this is like, do your precision jumps, know the entire levels like the back of your hand, and try to collect everything. It's like, you really are asking for a lot, not giving us anything.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too much into like the later games in the series, but there is examples of, I think it's number 3, that has literally a brand new game mechanic, a brand new concept for every single level.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a reoccurring theme in this area where they just kind of throw new stuff at you all the time. And I mean, I guess from a replayability point of view, having those little things where you might have to play this level 5 times to get that tire onto that platform and not get killed and be able to jump and get the secret. Because once you go into a secret room, you're always in there. And when you go into every secret room, you beat the level 100%.
Yeah.
It's located typically on the map, and it will say monkey manic panic or something, and there'll be a little exclamation mark. The exclamation mark means you've done everything.
Yeah.
The boss of this Vine Valley was the Queen Bee. Just use barrels and hit them.
Yep. And I like to use Diddy because she likes to kind of do a big loop and kind of can get you. So if you're holding the barrel out in front of you, she just smashes into you.
That's it. From here, we move on to Gorilla Glacier. This is the part of the game where I just got super frustrated. And I was like, frick this game. I feel like as a kid, too, I could get through the first 3 levels and you'd get here and then you just get destroyed. And it's no fun. Like, it sucks. It really, really sucks. there's one of the areas where you're in these barrels, and the barrels are spinning. They'll spin in a circle, and they're moving up and down. And you're trying to get to another barrel that's spinning, that's moving up and down, and there's a bee in between you. So of every, I don't know, 10 seconds, you have 1 second that you can fire that would send you to the right path. Otherwise, you're just waiting. And it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. And it is so infuriating. I hate it.
Yeah, and then there's times where it's like, oh, do all this with 2 moving bees going back and forth, and if you mistime it, you're screwed. Or if you hit one of them, yeah, you'll go to your other characters, because like if you have 2 characters, so if you get hit, you just go to your secondary one. Oh, you lose all your momentum and you die anyways. Doesn't matter. It's like
I had save states. I was able to do 1 or 2 jumps, save, fail. Oh, I got it, save. But like, why would they make you do this super sensitive mechanic over and over again? So how is that compared to the rest of the game? So the rest of the game is trial and error, platforming, whereas opposed to this is it's silly. Like, it's almost like it's its own game, and it's this very super fine twitch movement, and it just it's so frustrating. I dislike it.
It's like a rhythm game, almost, and but it's a rhythm game with momentum, and you're like, why would you do this to us? But
it's something, all right. It is something.
Yes. Yeah.
But we get finally through this level after trial and error, and again, thank you for my really expensive emulator that I have sitting over in the corner of my room. We fight really naughty. It's not just very naughty, really naughty. He's the same beaver, he just jumps further across the screen now.
Yeah, rehash of assets.
Yep. We go to the Crem Croc Industries Inc., which is weird that there's a factory area that the Kremlings that invaded Donkey Kong's island work at, right? They have like a whole industrialized park.
Yeah, which is a little weird, but it is what it is. It's kind of like, I guess they came there. There's the whole history of these actual games and the timeline of Donkey Kong. It is kind of interesting if you get into it, because I'm not going to get into this in this one, but it's very industrialistic versus the naturalists of the Donkey Kongs, and the Kongs are kind of innocent, and the Kremlins are all these like bad guys with technology and use barrels and gunpowder, and
Yeah, I found there was lots of unique game mechanics here. Nothing super difficult or super frustrating, so I really appreciated that. The boss of this area was called the Dumb Drum. So he was a giant drum that came down from the ceiling, and he would shake out enemies for you to fight. And then you kill them, and then he would jump and land on the screen a couple times, and then he would drop a couple more enemies. Repeat. Very unoriginal.
Yeah, it seems like they had a good idea, but they just did not flush it out.
I agree.
Yeah.
From here we go to the Chimp Caverns. There's some more frustrating areas in this game. The time jumps are so goddamn picky in this part. It kind of kills the fun a little bit. And I don't know if that's just because I'm not practiced. I'm not skilled. Like, maybe if I played this game and I practiced, I would love it. But as a casual, I played the other games. I really like the other games. I don't know if I'm overly in love with this title.
Yeah, it's the longest level. It is kind of that final actual overworld before you get to the final boss. So it's going to be the hardest, but man, this game, instead of like, it starts out being like, oh, hey, look, it's fun. It's like platforming. And then they're like, look, we're going to throw all these other game mechanics that you didn't really expect or want to play. And that's now what you're doing. It's like, I feel like I got duped into doing things that, it's like you get duped into doing math problems when all you wanted to do is just play a fun adventure game.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel you. I feel you very hard. The boss here is really necky. So again, we've already fought the vulture once. Let's fight the final. Maybe it's Master Necky or something. Oh no,
Necky's
Master
Revenge.
Necky was the second one. This was really necky. Stupid. From here we go to the Gangplank Galleon. So we head out to, there's this little ship, and we fight King K Rool.
Yep.
He throws his crown at you. You have to jump on his head 3 times and avoid him. He goes down, and the credits roll with a K. We see that the producer, basically it's just, they're all fake. They're like, the producer of this game was Kremling A, and then Killer Croc was the sound editor. And you're like, this is weird.
Why would you do these things for your credits?
Yeah.
Generally, it's when you take credit for everything, but whatever. We're done it. We're free. No more barrels.
Yay. Probably actually my favorite part of the game is the fake out they have right here with the credits. So obviously it's a fake. King K Rool comes out. He changes the mechanics a little bit. Now he jumps rather than just throws his crown. Same idea though. 3 hits, he goes down, and now we get the real ending. Donkey Kong gets all his bananas. The trolling's not done yet though. The trolling is not done yet. So as it's rolling, Cranky Kong comes out, and he says, "Huh, that's weird. It took you like 3 hours, 4 hours to beat this game. I did this in under an hour. I only used 1 life, and I found every secret in the game. You should be better than you are." And you're like, nah, he's just kidding. That's literally a challenge that the producers made. So play the game, no lives, 1 attempt, every secret. You have an hour. Go.
That's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because like the secrets in this game they add so much time and they push it back. Like if you get all your frickin', like if you actually go get all your Kong like stuff or whatever and you unlock it, then it pushes you further back than where you were in the game. It doesn't just put you back where you were. It's like, oh yeah, no, you're back here. It's like, or sometimes it just puts you back at the start of the game. You're like, I think
it just has to be practice, and you literally have to memorize everything, you know? And like honestly, one of the most frustrating things would be playing this, getting to the barrel shooting levels, missing 1-time jump, dying, and being like, well, I'm restarting all over again.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess with save states you could do it. You could just play a perfect run, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
You get a percentage for every level. I think there must be 50 levels in the game. Every time you get a special exit, that's 1%. Every time you beat, or you find every exit, that's 1%. Every time you beat a level, it's 1%. I think I finished with 4%. So I beat every level, and I found 4 levels, all their secrets.
Yeah, that was probably the first 4 levels.
Yep. Yeah, definitely the first ones. Oh, there's a random one I know in like Vine Valley where for some reason I know like everything. I don't understand why. Yeah. Some of the other kind of fun add-ons though is we do have animal friends. We kind of didn't talk about the animal friends. We have Rambi the rhino. We have Angard the swordfish. We have Winky the frog, Squawks the parrot, and Espresso the ostrich. I did not see Squawks the parrot at all in this game. Did you ever see Squawks the parrot? I don't remember him.
I feel like he was in one of the... I honestly don't remember, to be honest with you. I feel like he was one of the cave ones, and he held like a lantern, but I don't remember that.
I think that's one of the other titles. I think that's like 2 or 3. I really don't think, like, I was looking at their page and like, oh yeah, Squawks the parrot's in here, and I wrote it down and wrote a note though, like, I don't remember seeing him. Like, I legitimately don't think Squawks the parrot was in this game. Like, they were just lying.
See, I'll bring up the Wikipedia page.
Okay. From there, there are
some
some fun bonuses. There are, if you collect little golden animals throughout the adventure, and you get 3 of them, you get sent to a fun level. So for example, you get Espresso the ostrich, 3 of those. You get to a screen where there's a bunch of little star tokens, and Espresso can kind of run and jump and hover and fly back and forth, and the idea is how many stars can you collect. So you can actually collect quite a bit of stars, get a bunch of different bonus lives, and I think those are probably important when you're trying to fully beat the game, because you need a lot of lives at a couple points. So
and in each of those bonus stages, there's kind of a secret area that will times your points by 2. So you do a quick run, try to get as many points as you can, and then you work your way to the hidden area, and then you quickly, times 2 it or whatever, and you get to like 400, and you get way more lives, basically.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
And it looks like he is actually in the game. He's in Gorilla Glacier. There's the only cave. There's an ice cave, and then there's a regular cave called Torchlight Trouble.
Huh.
So
weird. I don't remember that as a thing.
Yeah, neither do I.
That's so strange. Huh. Anyways, so that is again, platformers are hard to talk about because really there's not a lot going on. Like unless there's a bunch of cool lore or like you have a bunch of cool nostalgia about it. That's it. That's the game.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there is some kind of special areas on the overworld map where you can go talk to Cranky Kong.
Yes.
You can go talk to Candy Kong and save your game.
And Funky.
And you can go talk and Funky. Yeah.
Now, the one thing I guess we didn't really mention is the opening credits of this game. You start off and you're on a red platform. And Cranky Kong is sitting there on kind of this red, weird scaffolding, I guess you could call it, on his rocking chair, just rocking slowly back and forth and back and forth. And then all of a sudden you hear the beat kind of go from this nice, soothing melody. All of a sudden the beat picks up a little bit, and Donkey Kong drops down with his big tie, knocks Cranky Kong off the platform, and he's bouncing around. That's actually a reference to the Cranky Kong that we knock off the platform is the Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong, the arcade game.
Yes.
That is proven. That is fact. Captured Pauline. Mario fought him. So that NES mini game that we did a while back, that's actually almost kind of a direct reference to this series.
Gotcha. See, I always thought that Cranky Kong was Donkey Kong Jr.
Nope. Oh, maybe he is.
And then this Donkey Kong is actually his nephew. And there's this Donkey Kong's dad's missing, and they assume it was from the Great Ape War. But again, I think we're referencing game theory here, and this.
No, that's a real thing. So yeah, so he might be whatever the junior, Donkey Kong Jr. might be Cranky Kong. It's something like that. There's some element of it in there. And that's like just proven fact in canon. And that's why they show kind of the red scaffolding into the jungle theme.
Yeah. And it's just kind of nice because like the theme that he's playing is the original Donkey Kong theme. Mm-hmm. And then when this Donkey Kong drops down and kicks off Cranky,
picks it up a bit.
Then... Yeah, and that's when the Donkey Kong Country theme actually starts. So it's neat.
And I did mention earlier about the Rare. I kind of mentioned just kind of briefly about like, ooh, Rare, they're this cool video game developer. They were like the boss video game developer for a while. They had Diddy Kong Racing, they had Donkey Kong 64, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, what's his face?
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. You said you had the Rare collection for the Xbox One.
Yeah, and like they have Jet Force Gemini, they have Perfect Dark, they even have a bunch of games that they like 8-bit. You're like, not GoldenEye, but because that got re-released or remastered, so technically I think Nintendo owns
Rare
those
made
rights.
That game.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But we're talking about one
like,
of the greats of the companies. They were bought out by Microsoft, and they kind of lost that.
Yeah, basically when they got bought by Microsoft, I want to say 2003,
2002, when Microsoft bought out Rare, Nintendo recredited Rare, or used to credit Rare with Donkey Kong's iconic red tie look, and after the buyout in 2002, they took that away from them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing about Rare is like they've been kicking around for a really, really long time, and they were a big unit seller. Like they were a big reason why hardware moved is because you would look at Sonic the Hedgehog versus Donkey Kong Country, and you could say like, wow, these are like they're kind of comparable in like graphics wise, and then Nintendo still has Mario and all them, so it's one of those things where it's like having another huge mega franchise just kind of killed off the competition. And it was really about exclusive back in the day.
Oh yes. So with all that kind of out of the way, current thoughts on this game. Me personally, I found this game very frustrating. The difficulty curve is extreme. Because I didn't really grow up with this title, my nostalgia for this game really isn't anything to shake a stick at. And yeah, I didn't really enjoy my experience.
Yeah, I remember these games with a fondness to me, but every time I replay them, I get really frustrated. I'm not a big platformer. I kind of suck at them, so I get really like I struggle with these games. And this game's no example, no exception. It's hard. It's kind of unforgiving, and by the end of it, you're no longer doing the fun things that you want to be doing, like running around with your animal buddies on kind of big open levels and killing lots of crocodiles. Where it's like, no, jump these barrels in the dark and try to hop on these precise platforms. It just kind of gets tedious and not very fun.
I agree. Yeah, so I mean, we don't really recommend games here. We just kind of give your opinion. This one is, it's kind of cool to know where it came from, but Diddy Kong, like if you listen to our top 10 list, is one of my favorite games. I've replayed it since then. I really like Diddy Kong Country, or Donkey Kong Country 2. So I'd be interested to play that with you, because I would like to get your take on it.
Yeah.
And go from there, for sure. So.
Definitely. I think that Donkey Kong Country 2 is the best of the trilogy, because this is a trilogy.
Yes.
For a first entry, it does a lot of things right, but that difficulty curve and just lack of fun in the kind of the second half of the game really kills it, where I feel like Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong 2 has really smoothed that curve out.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. And then finally, are you buying it? So this game is actually a reference to the Banana Wars. In 1914, the U.S. occupied Central America and the Caribbean. The U.S. helped build the Panama Canal to promote global trade and to show off their own naval prowess. They took over a lot of the independent Panamese, Central America, Caribbean plantations, brought in their own workforce, and actually fought locals so that they were the only people allowed to sell bananas back to the United States. If you look at this game, that is why the Donkey Kong, the good guys, the locals of the islands, lose their banana hordes to these crocodiles who are all dressed in U.S. military gear. They have a factory area, and King K Rool could be in reference to that fat U.S. president. I don't know. I don't know who would they be referencing.
Who the heck's the president in
1914? No, this went for a while. Like this went in like to the 60s, like 60s, 70s. Like this was a continual thing. Like most of the 1900s, the U.S. was occupying. So when I said that 1914, it started then. It went upwards and until including like the 1980s when they finally stopped.
Maybe King K Rool then stands for kind of like the king of cruelty and kind of capitalism, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I buy into it, because I mean, why else would all these, unless you just literally just look at it as, monkeys like bananas, monkeys fight crocodiles, they're the bad guys, they have guns, these guys are the naturalists. Just, I don't know, I think video game developers usually think about a little bit too deep into things, so I buy into it. What about you?
It's kind of cool. I like to think of those things where when they come up with themes of games, it's more involved than just like, oh, these crocodiles stole these bananas. Game over, right? Yeah. I like when there's a little bit more lore, a little bit more mythology. So
makes you more invested.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Did we miss anything with this title?
The music.
The music.
Yes. This was, I think, one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard, and you can still buy the darn actual soundtrack to this game, crazy as that sounds, but it's great. It's what kind of made Rare stand out from the crowd, is they had this great polish of gameplay as well as this amazing soundtrack where you can always download them as ringtones for your smartphones, and I may have done that a time or two.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, this was kind of a bit shorter, a bit easier of a show. I mean, we had a couple long ones, a couple RPGs, and a couple kind of heavier episodes before this. So this is kind of nice to, play a platformer that maybe we didn't disagree on. Look at it in that sense.
Yep.
Cool. And with that, we'll just end with our closing. So thank you for listening. You can contact Podtendo on Twitter at Podtendo Podcast, email us at podtendo@gmail.com, or check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Podtendo. The music of Podtendo was used without permission and is property of Nintendo.
Here we go. Performance for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap. As we take you through this monkey rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. He's a hard-stop style, so listen up to. She can shrink in size. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can go through the air and climb up trees. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool Kong. He has no style, he has no grace. This Kong has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to, and stretch his arms out just for you. He shakes himself just like a balloon. This crazy Kong just digs his tune. He's back again and about time too. And this time he's in the mood. He's the fire real high with a jetpack Kong with his pistols out. One Donkey Kong, he'll make you smile when places do. But gremlins beware, cause he's after you. Finally, he's here for you. It's the last member of the DK crew. This Kong's so strong, it isn't funny. Can make a gremlin cry out. Can pick up a boulder with relative ease. Makes crushing seem such a breeze. He may move slow, he can't jump high, but this Kong's one hell of a guy. Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge. Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells.